get ready, tune in, unwind. It's the Smoke World Podcast. It's time to talk about what's happening, baby. So run, don't crawl. It's the Smoke World Podcast. It's time to think, so go ahead and get yourself a smooth drink. It's the Smoke World Podcast. Light up your cigar, put your feet up, and don't go too far. So tune in weekly in your car, at home, or on your phone, and listen in the Smoke World Podcast, hosted by Stone.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Smoke World. I'm your host, Stone, so go grab that stick. Go grab a glass of whatever you're drinking. Let's sit back and have that conversation. Yeah. Some new music jumping off there. Today's episode, I am bringing to you Smoking Silverback Lounge. I'm there on location chilling. I get opportunity to talk to some of the owners, some of the vendors. They're having an event for Philly Cigar Week. The ambassadors are in the building. So sit back, relax, do what you do, grab a stick, and enjoy this show. All right, my brother. We're here at Silverback Cigar Lounge. I'm here with my man John, Philly Cigar Week. Sir, thank you. I want to say this to folks because I didn't say it on my podcast. Mm-hmm. Thank you for doing what you've been doing. Now, I want you to tell folks what you've been doing and how long you've been doing what you've been doing.
Well, first and foremost, as always, I appreciate you, your ongoing support. Stone Smoke World Podcast. You've been one of our biggest supporters from day one. So, I mean, simply put, Philly Cigar Week was born out of a need. It was a need, necessity. We were seeing what was going on in other parts of the country, Atlanta, Houston, Miami, Orlando, Tampa.
Yes.
And we just said, like the old saying, why not us, right? So
that part.
So that's what was born out of that spirit. And I always tell people, and they always laugh and joke, but my mantra is simply, I don't know shit about cigars, I just love to smoke.
I like that.
So, but I've always been a marketing guy, and so when I kind of connected with some local cigar enthusiasts and brothers and sisters that live here in the Philadelphia tri-state area, and we just got together and put our heads together and said, hey, let's make this thing work. So we're excited. It's our fifth. Well, we're actually going into our sixth year. So we started back in 2018, and listen. So it's all about bringing the cigar culture together, giving us one weekend out of the year to come together and celebrate the brothers and sisters of the leaf, and it's been great so far. So we're excited.
I'm curious to know what that conversation was like when you said, you know what, let's do a Philly Cigar Week. What was that conversation to say, you know what, we see all this going around throughout the country.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do Philly Cigar Week. What was that conversation? Who did you have that conversation with?
True.
Was it such a brainstorm?
So it started out with just making some simple calls to the different lounges.
Okay.
Saying, hey, do you guys familiar with Cigar Weeks and what's happening in other cities? And a lot of them were saying no at the time. There are quite a few that did understand what was going on, but not to the magnitude, right?
Right.
And so in year one, we were just finding our way. I think year two, we find our niche. We pretty much adopted the restaurant week model.
Nice.
And we simply told all the cigar lounges and the cigar shops that tell us what you're doing, what you got going on in your shops, and we serve as a lighthouse. We shine a light on it, educate people as to what we got going on here in the tri-state area, and then we built 2 or 3 anchor events or signature events around that weekend to start to attract people from other cities to come support us here in Philadelphia. So it worked well. In that particular year, we were voted the #1 cigar week in the country based on that model that we adopted with the strong support of all the local lounges.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
So tell us what we got coming up. This is 2025,
what's
hot on?
So 2025, we're kicking things off over at the Cigar Code on Wednesday, June 18th. That's our annual VIP kickoff reception. Cigar Code has been a strong support of us from day one.
Okay.
So that's like a meet and greet, kind of getting ready for the whole weekend lineup of festivities. Thursday night, we're back over at Vera Nightclub with Isaac and his wife.
Okay.
Who hosts Cigar Sundays over there. So that'll be our second collaboration with Isaac and Lynn, Lady Lynn. We're hosting the Sisters of the Leaf Ladies Night event there. Friday, we're switching things up. We're doing a private reception for all of our VIP All Access ticket holders.
Okay.
That'll take place right back here at the Smoking Silverback Lounge for those that take part in the All Access festivities. And at the same time, we'll have a day event and an evening happy hour, which is our annual Rep Your City happy hour. So that'll be going on simultaneously. Saturday, We're very excited about our new collaboration with Robert Martinez Cigars.
Okay.
He's hosting his second annual cigar gala. This year's it will take place at the Rivers Casino. That'll be Saturday night. June 21st.
Okay.
And so we'll be over there collaborating with him. And that ticket will be only open to the all-access ticket holders.
Okay.
That'll be a sit-down dinner, live music,
okay,
cigars, overlooking the waterfront. It's going to be an amazing event. And
nice.
it's supporting Hands Across Philadelphia, so we're excited about that. The nonprofit charity that's associated with that. And then also that same day, we have the newest addition to our Philly Cigar Week lineup. It's called Cigar Basil. So we're going to introduce cigars, art, music, and culture, bringing that all together. So that'll take place at the Cigar Club.
Now you're showing off. Now you're showing off.
Trying to bring something new and fresh to the tri-state area. And then Sunday, we're excited to be back collaborating with our brother Mike Jackson.
Okay.
And the Smoke on the Water at the Mooshaloot.
Yes.
So that'll take place Sunday. So that'll be our grand finale wrap-up. So we're excited about this year's lineup.
Well, man, now you mentioned Sisters of the Leaf.
Yes.
Now I noticed in this region, in the East Coast, up on this northern region, that is somewhat of a challenge in certain lounges to get the sisters to come out.
Yes.
What do you think that you can tell, or what advice would you give cigar lounge owners to say, you know what, we noticed the Sisters of the Leaf, they smoke, but they're not coming out like the Brothers of the Leaf.
Sure.
What do you think that downfall, or what missing piece you think is involved in that? Why the sisters aren't coming out like that?
That's actually a great question, and it's one of the questions that we were shockingly surprised that when we look at our data as far as who's buying tickets, who's buying often and early, it is the Sisters of the Leaf. So they are coming out, but I think some of the challenges that the cigar lounges that are having is making it a little bit more welcoming for the Sisters of the Leaf. Obviously, certain things come into play. We found that a lot of our venues that we partner with have the both indoor and outdoor component.
Okay.
So for those Sisters of the Leaf that don't want to be inundated with the smoke and all that in their hair, so we're able to provide them with those options because of our venue selection.
Gotcha.
But we're definitely seeing the increase in numbers of the Sisters of the Leaf coming out supporting.
So let's be correct.
Yes.
When they come to Philly Cigar Week, they're there.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. They come out to the events.
Yes.
But as a regular, everyday going to the lounge smoker,
yes,
they're not really present like that. There's an event for whatever reason.
Sure.
Just like you said, you mentioned shortcomings. It's not, like I said, maybe the smoke or whatever it may be.
Oh yeah. So that's just another. I would say it's almost like an opportunity for those local cigar lounges to start having those conversations with some of the female Sisters of the Leaf cigar clubs and organizations.
That part.
Bringing them in for some cut and light events. Reaching out to some of the Sisters of the Leaf that actually own cigar brands. Bringing them to a sit-down discussion. We started a panel discussion about 3 years ago called Deeper Than the Leaf. Okay. And there's an opportunity for people that were in the culture, in the industry, to talk about their business, their platform, how they got into the cigar space, and how they could continue to be supported, but not just by the sisters, but all of the cigar smokers.
Absolutely.
So just having those informative sit-down conversations.
Gotcha. I appreciate you. How can folks now follow as far as to give out the social media so they can know
Sure,
keep up
absolutely.
with all this?
So PhillyCigarWeek.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Philly Cigar Week. Follow us, post us, repost us.
Yes.
Tell a friend. We're excited about this event here tonight. It's our annual kind of kickoff. We bring all of our former brand ambassadors, people that are interested in becoming new ambassadors.
Yes.
Share with them about what we have in store, what support we need from them to keep this thing going. And so today's an amazing event. And then we just start all things lead to June 18th to the 22nd. So we're excited.
So I'm going to ask you this last thing, because you mentioned brand ambassadors. Those who are listening to this and say, hey, you know what, I have this going on in the cigar culture. Can they reach out to you? I guess they can get in contact with you on Instagram with the Philly Cigar Week.
They can simply shoot us a DM.
Okay.
You can email us at phillycigarweek@gmail.com.
Okay.
And just simply introduce yourself. Say, hey, I came across your page. I'm interested in becoming a brand ambassador. And just send us an email. We'll send you back the information, the requirements for is required of you. And yeah, it's just simply reposting us, supporting us, and sharing the movement.
Bro, thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Stone Smoke World Podcast.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
We appreciate you. And
God bless you.
Without your support, we won't grow. And
Listen,
we
brother,
won't
it's all
continue
about
to
each
grow.
other, brother. I got
Absolutely.
you. Whatever I can do, you know I got you.
Thank you. Let's put some
Thank you,
smoke
brother.
in the air.
Yes, sir. All right, my brother. Sir, thank you. He was a little nervous before he got on the mic. I don't know why.
Here he go. Don't let him get you started. First of all, brother, let me just say this. Man. I appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you supporting us. And
Absolutely.
I appreciate your presence at our events and showing us love in our first 60 days. So from my appreciation and my partner's appreciation to everything that you do for the cigar industry.
Thank you, brother. That sounds like you sound you got a church. You're a pastor.
Hey, man, just a little bit.
Hey,
you know what I'm
that sounds
saying?
good. Can you tell us who you are, number one?
Yeah, so my name is Olin Chamberlain. I'm one of the partners here at Silverback Cigar Lounge in Fishtown, Philadelphia.
Fishtown. Okay, so now I'm gonna get a little background because I'm laughing because we had a conversation off mic where you're from. So I'm gonna mind my business.
Yeah,
and let
then
you
mind
tell.
it then mind it. Well, you're not minding your business right now.
It's a part of the show. Folks want to know who they're dealing with, who they're listening to. So I'll give folks the opportunity to give a little pedigree in reference to who they are, where they're from, and how they got involved in the cigar culture.
Yeah, so just a little bit of background. So first of all, my family, don't laugh. I'm going to
Never
start
laugh.
right here. My family's from Philly. My aunts and uncles went to Overbrook. My dad went to Bartram. My other uncle Claude went to Benjamin
name
Franklin.
drop. We throwing names out.
And no names.
I'm saying you
And then
throwing
my-
names. You saying
no
Overbrook,
names.
Bartram, we throwing names out.
Here you go.
name call.
I'm name dropping our high schools.
Okay, go ahead,
And then
proceed.
my mom went to Wissahickon out in the county. So my whole family's from Philly. I just happened to be born in Cali, but spent every summer and every holiday in Philadelphia.
Is
And
that
I
the
live
same
here
as
now.
if you went down south with your grandmom and I'm from Philly, but I went down south?
Oh, here
Does
you
that
go,
count?
man.
I'm not sure.
So here's one thing I do know. My
Yes, sir.
address today says Philadelphia.
That part.
Can you pull out your ID?
I forgot it at home.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I know my address says Philadelphia. That's all I know.
Whoa. Okay, so how did you get involved in this whole thing, brother? When did you
Yeah.
start smoking cigars?
So I was smoking cigars. I actually lived in Georgia for a while, and I started smoking cigars maybe about 20 years ago. But it's interesting enough. Now Thanksgiving just passed, right? And Thanksgiving Eve last year, not this year.
Okay.
Me, my other three partners, and some other brothers were sitting at another cigar lounge, talking about, man, how great would it be if we had our own spot, you know, in our own backyard, so to speak.
Gotcha.
And happy to say, this year, Thanksgiving Eve, we all came back right here and celebrated that 1 year conversation.
Wow.
We're less than 60 days open, and we're blessed to be here at 25 Allen Street, second floor,
That part.
Fishtown, Philadelphia.
That part. Now, going from a consumer, this is what I always ask a lot of the lounge owners. Going from a consumer to now a business owner in the cigar industry, there's a difference. There's a
Yeah,
big difference
absolutely.
opposed to just sitting back, smoking a cigar, and not have to worry about now conducting and controlling and operating a business. What do you think some of those challenges are? Because a lot of folks, we sit down, me included, with other smokers, and we say, hey, you know what we should do? Open up a lounge. It's not that easy.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's not that easy.
No, let me be very clear.
Yeah,
I got a
yeah.
W-2. That's a
Whoa.
running joke, right? You and I have been
Security.
rolling. I have a W-2, so no, it's not easy, right? But let me just tell you something, and not to you, and not to compare you or the audience to my son, but me and my son just had a conversation. And in life, nothing is easy, right? So
That part.
one of the things that we pride ourselves in, if I take myself from being a consumer to an owner, if you will, and my three partners will feel the same way, is that we're going to pride ourselves on service. We're going to pride ourselves on visibility. You've been here several times.
Yes, sir.
I don't think there's a time, and I hope I'm not wrong, but I don't think there's a time that you've been here that you haven't seen one of us partners here and present. And by the way, either lighting your cigar, cutting
Yes.
your cigar, you know, when
Customer
you bring a
service
bottle
is
in,
1,000%.
taking care of you, right?
And I don't have to tell you that because I'm on this mic.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And I've been around the many cigar lounges. Customer service here is on point.
Yes.
On point.
Thank you,
On
thank you.
point.
And that's what we try to pride ourselves on that, and then taking it back to, you know, like why, right? The why, if you will. And we named it Silverbacks for a reason, right? So if you think about Silverbacks, right, you think about leadership, you think about maturity, right? You think about community.
Yes.
And when back to the consumer piece, if I'm a consumer, I want to feel like part of a community. I want to feel like when I come in somewhere that they recognize me. If they don't recognize me, they serve me. If they don't serve me, they know that I'm present.
Yes.
And I feel like I belong, so to speak, right? That's a community atmosphere that we want to create here. And then when it comes to leadership and when it comes to maturity, that's the audience, right? We want it to be all-inclusive, but we want that mature audience, right? And now, by the way, you can be 21 and mature.
That's
Let me
true.
be very clear here. So we want that mature audience, and we want the right folks, and we want to be able to serve the right folks. So it's all inclusive, But we're looking for those silverbacks that are out there. And by the way, there's ladies that could be silverbacks in this environment as well. As you can see here, there's a lot of ladies here tonight.
Now, speaking of silverback, now I'm looking at a guy right now, folks. I know they can't see us, but I'm looking at you. I don't really see any silver in my visual right now.
Oh, you're not looking at my chin or my hair because it's dark in here.
No, I understand it's dark, but I was here since the light.
I don't recall. Hey, I'm done. Drop the mic. It's time to drop the mic.
I don't recall seeing those silver.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's, maybe you did a little dye, but it's looking pretty good. You still
Oh,
got
wow. The dye. You hit me with the dye?
Well,
Hold on. Let me get my other partner
Yeah.
talking about the dye. Let me get my other.
Yeah. You still got a head full of hair, bro.
Yeah, I do. I'm blessed to have a head full of hair.
Yeah,
I
God
might not
bless
have it. My son's a senior over at St. Joe's Prep, so I might not have it long.
Yeah.
But if you're looking strong, my chin is silver. My chin is silver, man.
Maybe you shaved today.
Yeah,
coming back.
It's light. I
don't
did
know.
shave today.
Rome right here. Here's
Look at
Rome.
Rome. Yeah, Rome gonna
right
duck
here.
us.
So so now Rome's one of the partners. Am I correct?
Yeah, Rome is one of the partners for sure.
Yeah. So now Rome, before you came, Big O said Rome's going to do the podcast because O said he ain't doing shit. He said Rome is the guy who does everything. He said he has a W-2. Rome is playing games, and you came in, and first thing you said, I ain't doing none of that because I don't come on the clock. Just sit the clock. So I don't know if you want to respond to that kind of, protect.
We handle that in house, man. We don't do that. We keep our laundry in the crib. We don't do that.
That's not.
But I appreciate you bringing that to my attention.
Yeah. I'm a snitch.
I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. But me and him have a conversation, and I don't think you have any. I don't think we'll have any conflict anymore, man.
So let me talk. Okay, can you tell us who you are?
Sure.
And how long you've been smoking?
Wow. So I've probably been smoking for over 20 years. I'm one of the partners here.
Okay.
And, it's a great thing when you can partner with your homies, respected businessmen, fathers, community men, true silverback, and be able to develop something and build something and have something. So this is really like a dream come true in terms of doing business with my homies and having something that we're passionate about for our people, for everybody, just for the city of Philadelphia and for the surrounding communities. So it's dope.
So here's the question I asked him.
Yep.
Coming from a consumer
Yep.
standpoint and now moving to the business side
Yep.
of it, what do you think some of those challenges are? Because everybody who sits down and smokes cigars think they go for the lounge. Let's be real.
Yeah, but
we
you
all
know-
sit down and say, you know what, Dan, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create a cigar and I'm opening a lounge. I mean, I hate to say it, but Cats is full of shit. It sounds good, but don't get me wrong, there have been many who have done that. So I'm asking you, the challenges, if there haven't, maybe there hasn't been any.
There's always challenges. I guess all I can tell you is this. I've been places, there's been a bar where you can smoke cigars, and then I've been places where you can be in a lounge and have a drink.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to create a lounge that you can have a drink.
Gotcha.
And in doing that, the challenge was making sure we staying true to being a cigar lounge first.
Gotcha.
And not anything else, right? So what does that mean? Ambiance, atmosphere, the humidor selection's got to be right,
Yes, sir.
and then you create the vibe. So if we can get all those components, nothing's ever perfect, Doc. You know what I'm saying?
Of course
But if you can hit them notes, people appreciate where you're going with it, and that's what we've
I'll
developed.
be the first to
Master.
tell you. If nobody told you that, I'll be the first to tell you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is why I'm
Yeah.
coming back
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
For sure.
And I'm coming out of state.
Oh, where you
So
coming
they-
from?
I'm originally Philly guy. I'm coming from Delaware now.
Okay.
So it takes about an hour to get down here.
We appreciate it. I
Absolutely.
appreciate that love. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do. Be a lounge that you can get a cocktail at, but really be a cigar lounge for the aficionado who enjoys this atmosphere.
That's what's up. So you know y'all can handle that off the mic.
Yeah, we'll address that. That's it. That might be addressed before we
I'm
close
looking
the
at
doors.
him. Now where your silver at, bro? There's a lot of cats with black hair on their face. And
Nah,
they
bro,
got hair
listen,
for
I'm
hair.
fortunate. I'm 50
going on,
years
man?
old. God, I got a few in this beard, but other than that, I ain't got none of that
Yeah,
going
what's
on.
going on? Just be a silverback.
But see,
like, what's
a
going on
silverback
now?
ain't your hair, homie. It's your
I-
mode.
I
It's your mode. It's your mode.
But now, that's true too. But the
It's your
silverback is
mode.
called silverback because of that.
Because of
that's
maturity.
No, that's true too. But now I'm looking at gorilla. I'm thinking gorilla. Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
you're
That's
right.
gorilla,
No, it is, but they're
got
called a
silver.
silverback gorilla because they got the silver going down their
Yeah,
back. But
yeah,
that's
no
not.
doubt.
But
That's
if you
not-
really understand the silverback gorilla, he's that bull. He the king of their castle, the village, the whole deal, right?
Put that
So
work on him.
not just to work on him, he just controls. He holds court. So he dictates the whole region, that whole rainforest.
King Joffrey. He King
You
Joffrey.
got
He
it.
King
So
Joffrey.
when I say it's the mode, silverback is the mode we on.
I'm just saying. I think I'm hating. That's all.
Now,
I'm
if you
hating.
let the other two partners grow their beards out,
Yeah. Where the other one at?
they look like Silverback. Yeah.
It's one of them do look like
and they
Silverback.
ain't got no hair at the top like you. So
Whoa.
I don't know what's going on.
Whoa, wait a minute.
I can't see no silver with you.
We had a rough paper route. We had a lot of dogs on our route.
No doubt,
Yeah, you
no
know
doubt,
what I'm saying?
baby.
Philly is rough like
No
that. back in
judgment,
the
no
day.
judgment zone, no judgment zone.
But listen, how can folks support y'all now? Give the address out again.
Yeah, 25 East Allen Street, Philadelphia, PA, second floor, right above the Philadelphia Distillery.
With social media. Give the
Social media.
handles
That's
out.
what's up?
Smoking Silverbacks at Instagram, and then Smoking Silverbacks Cigar Lounge on Facebook, and then Smoking Silverbacks on, I believe it's on Twitter and Threads.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
and then
Threads.
Smoking Silverback Cigar Lounge website or Smoking
so there's a
Silverbacks.
website.
But that smoking is no G.
Gotcha.
Smoking IN,
Smoking IN.
Silverbacks with an S.
Oh, that's lovely. Is there anything that maybe I missed that you wanted to let the folks know?
No, all I want to say is, look, we've been here roughly 60 days,
I
roughly.
can't believe that.
And
It's
I just
like I've
want
been here about 20 times.
Well, you have. I think we need to talk. We need to talk because there might be some issues going on, man.
wait a minute.
Are we smoking a little too much? No? Come on back. Come on. Make it 30 days. You said 20 days you've been here?
It seemed like I've been
We
here.
got to make it 30.
Wait,
How do we make it 30?
But wait a minute. You
Yeah.
saying you only been open 60 days? It
We
can't
only
be.
been open 60.
It can't be.
Our grand opening night,
It
I
can't
want to
be.
say was the end of October.
Really?
So yeah, we ended December, beginning of January right now. We're at
Now, I
beginning
went
of
to public
January.
school. My math might be a little funny.
Yeah, hey,
So forgive me.
Well,
You know what I mean?
hey, you know
That's
what?
personal.
Hey,
I
guess what?
understand.
If it all adds up to you coming here, then we win.
That
we
part.
win.
That part.
You
Well,
know,
brother,
so
listen, man.
can let me just say something before
Absolutely,
you end?
please.
I want to thank you, man, because the work that you're doing, right? This is not easy. You got to come in the lounges. By the way, when you said you was a snitch earlier,
Whoa, I ain't say nothing about
that's
that.
what you
Whoa,
said about
wait a
yourself. You said that about
Whoa,
yourself.
Whoa,
When you were talking to Rome.
Whoa,
You
wait a
said,
minute.
did you say you were a snitch? Is that what you said? Did I mishear you?
Security. Okay, so
Security?
ladies
Hold on.
and
What'd you say?
This-
Hold on. But look, let me say this. Because,
Security.
you know, there's a good thing there's a flip side of that, right?
God gonna
If you
bless
are that means you know everything that's going on. And we need brothers like you to give us insight because we're newbies. We're humble to this game.
Absolutely.
And you come in and you provide us insight on things we could do better, or things, and we're humble enough to say, hey, we're going to inject some of these things that you suggest and anybody else suggests for the most part. But we're blessed. As you look around right now, this place is full.
Yes, it's
And-
always been
and
like every time I came here.
Yeah, we're
it has
blessed.
looked like this.
It look.
So you're doing something right.
Yeah, and because
Keep
of
it
brothers
up.
like you. Thank you.
Appreciate you,
Humbly,
brother.
thank you.
Thank you, brother. I
All
appreciate
right.
y'all. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. We're back here at Smoking Silverback, and I'm with this beautiful young lady. She's going to tell us who are you?
My name is Lavette Tercey.
A superstar. I'm a shining star.
Hey.
No matter who you are.
Oh.
And I don't remember the words you say. All right, so tell us who you are and what you doing. What's up?
So my name is Lavette Tercey. I am the founder of Vet Vibes. Vet Vibes is a curated. Can we do that over?
Break it down. Break it
Okay.
down.
So you'll
Break it
So-
down. Edit.
So
Edit.
what I do is I curate experiences for the grown and sexy
Yeah, you gotta
to
break
bring
that
about
down.
connectedness. I utilize premium and boutique cigars as well as black-owned spirit brands, in addition to bespoke artisan hats, fedoras, cigar accessories, anything that comes from within.
So you're the connect.
Yes.
So you're the connect. In
Yes.
so many words, you are the connect with the culture and some of the folks who are doing things in the culture. You're that person to say, you know what, if you want to do something, contact me, and I'll connect you with who you need to be in contact with. In so many words. Am I-
That sounds good. I think you got it.
Oh, okay. How long have you been doing that, and what made you want to do that?
So I've currently been in business since June. This is a new project that I started. However, my background leads to, account executive, sales support, sales executive. The world I come from is cosmetics. So I like to make things
That's
beautiful.
why you look like you do.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, thank
Watch
you very
yourself.
much.
Yeah, that part. Watch yourself. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we make
distracted.
So we make things beautiful. We like to represent Black-owned brands. We like to be able to connect those brands to community. I work with restaurants, cigar lounges, brick and mortar because we understand the importance of that business,
Yes.
especially with the impact of, the internet and online shopping.
Yes.
We want to bring people out and give them a reason to come together, to be able to sip, smoke, and hope, quite possibly, to shop.
I like that. Now, how long have you been smoking?
How long have I been smoking? I started smoking way back when, probably, I would say 1993. I had my very first.
Wow, you beat me. Okay, you beat me. I'm just saying, I'm brainstorming. I'm sorry.
I had my very first cigar on a Carnival cruise line.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I've been dibbling and dabbling and enjoying cigars and the culture and all that it has to offer since 1993.
Since 1993. So, is there a challenge to get people connected, or is it a little bit easier than I think it is? Because it seems like it's kind of tricky. Because folks always with their schedule, this, let me call you back. What are you trying to do? Who's this? Who's that? I don't know. Maybe you're a pretty woman, so you don't have the same challenges I have as a bald-head black guy.
Well, I believe since the pandemic, there have been many of us that are still in the quarantine mindset. So it can be a challenge to get people out of the house. As we know, the pandemic left us with a pandemic of loneliness for many people.
Yes.
So it's important, with the digital age being so prevalent, it's majorly important that we all come together and connect as humans because we have so much to offer one another. And that's what I want. I want us to be able to connect the dots, be able to network, and utilize one another as resources as to how we can get things done together.
Oh, I like that. You said, did you practice that? That sounds like you practiced that.
No,
That's good.
I'm speaking from my heart.
Okay. I'm speaking from my heart.
I can't sing, but I'll try. Ooh, I'll let you go with it. Sing it.
Speaking from my heart. I'm all flat and off key.
But it sounds good.
So, you've been doing that since June. And have you, what stands out since your connections? Does anything stand out from what you did in June till now, we're in January 2025? Is anything that stands out? You know what? I did a great event. I put this together. This particular event stands out to me.
In the time since I started from June up until the end of December, I did 22 events.
Oh, wow.
My greatest, I want to say, accomplishment during this was creating the What Are You Doing Tuesday event. So I leveraged the reality is most people and most businesses, especially brick and mortar, Tuesday tends to be their slowest day.
That's correct.
Right?
Yes.
So I worked with BYOBs, small black-owned businesses, to be able to utilize that space to bring in vendors free of charge.
Okay.
We utilize their parking lots. We utilize their indoor spaces to be able to set up. And one, it really brought in the business it brought people into the business, and it allowed our vendors to be able to connect and network with one another.
Okay, so now how can folks support you if they're interested in getting contact? They want to do this, they listen to the podcast, they say, damn, I want to know who that is. How can they connect with you if they want to make some moves like this?
Yes, so you can connect with me, email at lavette@vettvibes.com.
Now you know we went to public school. You got to spell your name. You got to spell Lavette.
LAVETTE
Okay.
at vetvibes.com.
How about social
You can find
media?
me on Instagram under Vet Vibes and under Jersey Sun. And you can also find me on Facebook under Lavette Tercy.
You spit this stuff out like folks know how to spell. Now I'm not knocking my listeners, but again, we can't assume anything. You have to spell that one. Facebook.
Facebook, LAVETTE, Tercy, TURSI.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for being a guest on the podcast. That's your part. Thank you. No?
Thank you for having me as your guest.
Yeah. We're going to make a song out of that. Thank you. Appreciate
Did we make
you.
magic?
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
Good looking. All right. All right, now we never left. Smoking Silverback. I'm with the legend. One of the legends right now. One of the legends. Aaron motherfucking McKee's in the building. What's up, my brother? What's good with you, man?
Nothing much, my brother. Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. So, cigar culture. How long have you been smoking, bro? Oh, wow.
Really smoking? I want to say
Cigars,
probably
man. Cigars, so we clear. We made
Cigars.
Yeah.
I want to say about 5 years. 5 years ago, I really started to
Take
get
it serious.
into it. Take it
Really?
serious.
What made you get into it? Out of curiosity.
Just, I got into golf.
Oh,
After we would finish playing golf, I had me a glass of wine and a cigar, or,
Okay.
a lot of my boys were smoking cigars while they were playing. I never could do that.
Gotcha.
But I enjoy it, man. I enjoy the taste, the smell of the cigars. I enjoy the community of smoking the cigars and the people that you meet, you come across.
Brother.
I think that's one of the biggest things. Now, some may say it's not the best thing for you, but we all
What's really good for us?
But we all have our vices.
That
We
part.
eat sugar like it's going out of style, but nobody says anything about it.
Whoa.
So
I'm trying to wake it up.
what's wrong with indulging in a cigar every
You
now
trying
and
to
then?
Now, you said golf. Okay, how's your golf game? You got a little skills with that?
I'm decent, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and say I'm Tiger Woods out on the golf course, but
Well, we ain't saying
I'm decent.
that.
I
Okay.
enjoy it.
You can handle your business.
Yeah, I can. Yep.
So you don't think I can beat you?
No, I don't.
Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. That's a hell of a statement to make. You have no idea what my skill set is.
Because you don't play golf.
I do play golf.
Okay, what's your handicap?
That part I don't know. Mind your
Okay,
business.
so there
That
you
part.
go.
So what made you? Okay, so you're one of the co-owners here
Yeah.
at Silver Smoking back here. So, what got you? I'm curious. So you know what? I'm interested in doing that. Was it the background from just smoking on the golf course? Do you think? Can I tell people the reason I ask this question because most consumers think we all gonna start a cigar line and we go open up a lounge. We all sit there and talk that. We said, I can speak for myself, and I can speak to many people I spoke to. We sit down, we say, man, you know what we should do, man? We should start a cigar line. We should open up a lounge because we think it's easy. It's not. So I'm curious to know what was the mindset going to say, you know what, I want to start this adventure to go into having a cigar lounge.
Same thing you just touched on. Hanging
That
out
easy.
with hanging out with your buddies.
Influence.
We're in January of the new year, and it's really cold outside.
That part.
We would try to sit out back on the patio and light some heaters up. We get a little bit of heat,
A little
but
bit.
it's still
a real little bit.
Yeah, but it's still cold out there. And,
Hell yeah.
we will always say, and this has been going on for years. Hey man, we should get a lounge. We should get a cigar lounge. We should get, and it's always talk. It's like anything else.
Yeah.
When you're sitting down, you're talking with your buddies. You talk.
a lot of
You
shit.
got all these creative ideas about real estate and
Everything.
cigar lounges and regular lounges. You name it. You got all these great ideas, and this is an opportunity that came across one of my business partners' plate, and he said, "This is an opportunity we need to take a look at."
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not going to pay the bills for us, but it's something that we enjoy. We're invested in it, so we're going to take this personal, and we want to put out a good product, and it's something that we enjoy, and hopefully the people, love it.
Now, I was shocked the fact that Big O told me it's only been open like 60 days. I couldn't imagine. I'm like, wait a minute, I've been here too many times for that to be just 60 days. Was he right about that? I mean, I know he got a W-2.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. He got a W-2. So I wasn't sure if I need to listen to him or not. So 60 days, really? That's true.
Yeah,
Only 60 days. A little
It
bit
may
more
not
than
even
60
be.
days.
May not even be 60 days.
Yo, that's
so
crazy.
It's one of those things, man. When we jump into a business, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm an aficionado of cigars or the cigar business, nor my partners are. But we know this is a slow race. We're flying by the seat of our pants, trying to figure this thing out as we go. I think we're doing a solid job up to this point, so we just want to keep pushing. And again, we want this to be, the premium brand, and we want this to be the gold standard of cigar smoking
Let
lounge.
me help you out here. Since you don't know, since you said you got smoking 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Let me help you out. I've been smoking since '95, and that's why I said I could believe only 60 days, because I think I've been here way too many times now. That's kind of making me nervous, and I don't live around the corner no more. I used to have a studio across the street. That was back in the day. That's a different conversation. But the fact that y'all are doing something right, every time I came here, I'm looking around. The place is packed.
Yep.
Customer service is off the chain. You're making sure everybody's attended to. Cigars, whatever they need, ice, everything they need, they have. So I'm gonna take my hat, kudos to you guys. Y'all doing something great. Y'all got a great thing here. I wish y'all best of luck. If there's anything I can do, I'd be happy to make sure I do it. Now, I'm curious to know, somebody said you used to play basketball. That was a rumor. Somebody said that. I don't know who said that. But what have you been doing since then, bro?
Got into coaching, was coaching for a little bit. And currently I'm just running around with my kids. I'm not gonna say retired because I'll get back into the business on the coaching side of things, but just running around with my kids. I have high school boys who go to St. Joseph Prep. They play basketball over there. I have an 18-year-old who's a senior,
nice.
And I have 14-year-old twins that are freshmen. So this is the time that I get a chance to give back to them.
Yes.
Because they've been following me for so long, and they're chasing their dreams, and I want to be there for them and help them along the way.
Now, I got to say this, and I'm going to let you go because I know you're busy. Your partners, they came up. None of them had no silver. They all had black hair. I didn't know what happened. I don't think it was dyeing their hair. They was just young bulls. I'm not sure who you got as partners. But now you're the first person one of the co-owners, that actually got a little silver in their gray. So kudos to you because it is called Silverback. The rest of them cats was, I think, dying or they just young bulls. I'm not sure.
Now you tell me. We're all the same age. And you mean to tell me they don't have a speck of gray?
That's what I want to know. So I had to mention
I'm gonna let mine out,
okay,
man. I don't mind it, baby.
They dyeing it up,
Yeah.
you're saying.
That's wisdom, man.
Are they dyeing it up? You ain't saying.
I don't know. I don't want to say. I don't want to say. I don't live in their house. I don't ask them. It's their thing. Their twist.
So they never came to work with like no extra little drip.
I haven't
like
seen
Rudy
it.
Giuliani was.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
And if so, they got a really good barber.
That part.
Yeah.
Well, brother, thank you appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, my brother.
Absolutely. Good luck. All right, my brothers. Now, I noticed there was some hats over here. Some lovely looking hats. So I need y'all to tell us who you are and what you got going on.
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, we from Artistic Brims by Andre. I'm Andre, and we got my partner here too.
Yo, this is Lucky from Artistic Brims. We got we on Instagram at Artistic Brims, and we on Facebook at Artistic Brims by Andre.
We got a Barry White voice. Okay, so we got Barry White in the building. All right, so let's talk about what you got going on. How did this even get started? Who's the concept? Talk to us, brother.
Been doing this for about 2.5 years now. Actually, how it started was Andre saw a wood brim and checked it out, and he just looked at it and said, look, this is something I could do myself. Called me up one day, was like, look, I got a new idea.
That part.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, what? He's like, I know you like hats. Come on, we gonna do this. And ever since then, we've been rocking. Like, the first joint, he made me a joint for my birthday. I went and met him. We went to a comedy show to meet Tommy Davis to present him a hat. And ever since then, look, we've been kicking it since then. It's been 2.5 years. We've met, we sold hundreds of brims, trying to sell hundreds more. We on Facebook, we on Instagram. Anywhere on the East Coast we can get to you, you know what I'm saying? Okay. We go to shows, cigar shows, primarily up and down the East Coast, doing a few things, trying to get over to Houston and LA this spring and summer. But like, yo, any design that you want, anything that you want in wood, any color, anything that you can imagine, Andre could bring it to life. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying wood.
Wood.
This doesn't sound that easy.
Wood. Well, look at if you see what I got on, I mean, that look like a hardwood floor. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying.
and it ain't easy.
And it's not easy. I mean, look, and that's the thing. When you look at a regular price fedora, if you know anything about hats, a regular fedora costs about $250 for a quality fedora, right? And then you got to consider these are made by wood. They're made by hand. And everything that you get is original. Everything is one of a kind. I can make 6 hats all of the same, but everyone's going to be different because every wood grain is different. Yes. You know what I mean? And then in order not to duplicate, Dre put a different spin on every one. You know what I'm saying? So this is a unique piece that if you know anything about hats, you want to have at least one in your closet.
Okay, so let's talk about these hats. Okay, so it's wood, number one.
Yeah, it's wood.
Happy New Year.
So you're the maker. You're the guy who makes the magic happen.
Yeah, I make the magic happen.
Okay, what background, or are you a carpenter, or just so happened that you were just gifted with knowing how to shape these hats and make these hats?
Well, both of us, Lucky and I, we both contractors by heart, by
Gotcha.
trade. So it comes natural for us to be able to work with anything mechanical. So yeah, it was just something that came to fruition because we just want to be different. We ain't like everybody else.
Yes.
And we don't want everybody to be like everybody else.
That part.
We want everybody to be unique. So all of our hats are like a fingerprint. It's just one of one, and it's just gears toward that person. And we sell hats like at events like this.
Okay.
That's already made up. But our real thing is doing custom for the person, for the customer.
So I guess the customer can call you or reach out to you and say, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z, this particular design. I want this on the hat. So you're basically taking special orders.
Absolutely,
Everything's
absolutely.
a special order.
Everything's a special
Custom.
order, except for events like this.
Gotcha.
I'll bring like 20 or 30 hats.
Okay.
And pre-made. And like tonight, I bought like 25 hats. I probably sold like 10.
Nice.
And I probably got about 8 orders for hats that
So,
I got to fill.
If I can ask this question, baseline. What would a hat baseline? What would the price? We'll be looking at price far
A
as
basic
baseline.
hat starts around $250.
$250,
right?
okay.
And then everything that we do to it after that, it increases the value. You know what I mean? And then you was asking, like, what do we do? You could send us your attire that you want to wear for an evening, and we could put a hat together. You could send us your car, and we can make a hat for your car.
Gotcha.
If you got a business, we can put the business logo on there. Any color, any theme that you want, you know what I mean? We can rock it out. And that's what we do.
Okay, so you're saying $250 is the baseline.
Baseline.
And everything else after that
Yep.
becomes conversation as far as what they
Right.
may want on the hat.
Right.
So let me ask this question based on the fact y'all been doing, 2.5 years?
Yep.
The most unique hat that you think somebody asked you to make?
Well, I think, the hats that we make for ourselves are the most unique, all right? Because, like, what I got on, you ain't never going to see nowhere, and it can't be duplicated, right? But for our customers, I think one of our most unique hats is one of the simplest hats we did, which was a signature brim. Howard Hewitt wanted something simple, right? So he sent us his signature, and we put his signature on the brim, and it's one of the flyest pieces we done, just because of the simplicity of it, and he had a fly signature.
Now, I don't know if
Also, we did our, when you talked about our hats like that,
Right.
our most expensive hat that we did so far to date was a black mink hat, and that went for $800. So that just goes to show how high the price it can
Yes.
go. But we did hats for $600, we did hats for $700, we did hats for $500, $400. It varies.
Now, I'm about to ask a question. You can tell me my business. As far as, okay, now I'm a podcast guy. I send you my logo. Now, I don't want no trade secrets. You can tell me my business, because how does one go about implementing or making that particular logo and putting it on a hat?
You send the logo that you want,
Right.
and we make it happen.
That part.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you want?
Yeah,
right?
hey, look, mind your business. We ain't doing all that. We ain't giving out no
But I can
secrets
tell
on
you
the
one
podcast.
thing: only we doing it like we doing it. You know what I mean? To each his own. Everybody, there's other hat designers out there that doing their thing, but it's only like one artistic brim. And when you see these joints, they signature. You know what I mean? You already know. Like, especially on the East Coast, if you see one of these, you know what it is.
So where you from?
I'm from Newark, but I've been in Philly last 30 years.
Okay, how about you? Where you
Yeah.
from?
I'm from Philly,
Okay,
but
Philly guy.
I live in North Carolina now.
Really?
Yeah. So I just moved to North Carolina,
Oh,
but
wow.
I come down back to Philly once a month
Once a
for
month.
these events, or
Oh,
just
wow.
to bring hats. Like tonight, I had a chance. Like, this event was happening tonight, but I had 8 hats that I had to ship to Philly.
Okay.
So instead of
Shipping
shipping
them
them,
came
I
on
just
up.
drove, because the shipping for the hats is $25 a hat to ship.
Oh, wow.
So that's my gas money here
Hell
and
yeah,
back.
absolutely.
So I just, I'm gonna come down here and hand deliver them, and then make some money while I'm here too.
All right, so coming from Philly to going down to North Carolina, the cigar scene, I don't know if you had the opportunity to kind of, investigate that or experience that. What's the experience as far as North Carolina and the cigar culture? What's going on down there?
Getting there. It's
Okay.
getting there. It's a couple cigar lounges down there, but what we trying to do is get a North Carolina Cigar Week too.
Okay, that'll be
so
nice.
like right now they don't have a North Carolina Cigar Week.
Okay.
They got a Chicago Cigar Week, Philly, Atlanta,
Dallas,
Detroit,
Austin,
Tampa, but none in North Carolina.
Well, maybe that's what we might have to start that.
That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to get like-minded people together in North Carolina that I know and start that scene up down there.
That's what's up. All right, so I know y'all busy, y'all selling hats. I'm not gonna hold you long. Again, give out. How can we get in contact if folks want to get a hat? Give us that information again.
At Artistic Brims on Instagram, Artistic Brims by Andre on Facebook, inboxes. But before you do, peruse the site, look at all of the photos. There's thousands of photos on there, all different kind of colors, designs, and themes, so you can have an idea of what you want. Okay. Once you get an idea of what you want, inbox us the general idea, and we go from there.
Is there a website or just those right now? Those platforms?
Right now, those are our platforms and social media.
All right, so real quick before I leave, anything y'all want to let the folks know? Maybe I didn't ask that you wanted to let the people know that y'all got going on.
What's the next event?
February 1st.
February 1st is another a Cigar Gold event. We work strongly with Philly Cigar Week.
Okay, with John.
You know what I mean? So at pretty much most of their events we'll be there. We definitely going to be at Philly Cigar Week, and that's what one of our major events that we started off partnering with them. And our first fashion show was with Philly Cigar Week. So we've been doing things and like getting into the cigar culture. It's a natural fit with hats and cigars. Everybody want to look fly on their grown and sexy, you know what I mean? And you can start here because look, you ain't going to never see it nowhere else like you see it right here.
That part.
You know what I mean?
But brothers, I appreciate y'all taking the opportunity
We
to let y'all
appreciate
get back.
you. Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank y'all.
Peace
Appreciate
and
y'all.
love.
Thank you,
Man,
brother.
appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Well, folks, there you have it. Another episode of Smoke World in the books. Shout out to Silverback Smoking Lounge. The hospitality is off the chain. John from Philly Cigar Week. Much love. The brothers who are making those hats, the hats are hot. Check them out. Again, this is what it's all about, people. Just being in the right place to be able to have this quick conversation. A lot of times I may go somewhere. I'm trying to give you what I'm getting, the energy to talk to these folks because people aren't talking to them. You won't never know. You may see their pictures on social media, but you don't know what their voice sounds like. You really don't know what they do. So I try to go up and have that conversation with them. But nonetheless, Smoke World Podcast, IG. Stone at SmokeWorldPodcast.com is the email. SmokeWorldPodcast.com is the website. Let your friends, let your family know. This is what we do. We're doing it weekly. So I will check you guys out on the other side. Peace.